Hello, I'm Corey Green. I'm just starting a YouTube channel about my carp fishing. So I've been in France for a couple of days now. Nothing's really happened much. Two smaller fish come off. So I'm here as a consultant for Snide Tackle. Thanks to Craig and Rob for letting me fish here. So just talk you through what I've been doing this week. I've tried big bottom baits and nothing's really come to fruition. I've not had much success. A couple of liners and nothing really successful. So today we've going to switch up the tactics a little bit. We're going to come in with some mixed particles and pellets, courtesy of Rob from the lake, and we'll just switch to a Coda pineapple pop-up soaked in a snide gum. So it's just a bag of RG hot shrimp pellets, and hopefully fish one a big star. Hopefully that can produce the bite. I've got two rods on the edge of the island. There's a shelf and fishing in between a gravel bar, and then my third rod is just down the margin, fish down to my left hand side on a clear patch in a gully. So hopefully I can catch a fish. I'll let you know. After that's complete, your rig should look something like this. And then what I like to do is I take a piece of shrink tube, my preferred length between 15 and 20 mil. But I like to use it liner style, so just trim this one down. What I like to do is just slide it just over where the end of the coating finishes, and then what I'll do is come back to after I've shrinked it down with the kettle, and then I'll show you where I apply my putty, and then just finish it with another overhand loop knot.
Cool.
Just needs to be shrunk down a bit more. Not quite got it. So after you've shrinked your tubing, liner style, or
1 sec, mate. Start that again.
so after you've shrunk down your tubing, whether you fish it liner or just a straight kicker, then what I do is I tend to make a break, normally 10 mil from where the coating exits the bottom of the kicker to where I first put the coating. So I slide that back so it makes a ripple on the coating, so I can put my chosen amount of putty on there, my first part. So just take a small amount and then wrap it around this. And then what I do is, after I've done the first part of the putty, I'll tie my rig to length, so then it will allow me to put my putty in the middle and at the end. So what I'll do is line it up roughly 11 inches and then try to make a 1 to 2.5 inch overhand loop knot. A figure of 8 and then pull it through nice and tight. Snip that off, and then blob the tag end down. So roughly 10 inch from tying it like that. And then what I tend to do is I put a small piece halfway down, and then the rest of the putty just around the knot. So when you double over the soft material at the back end, it sort of acts like a kicker. I do it like this as well, just so it's, I tend to use the rig rings, leg clips. It gives you better movability. Better, how would you describe it? Movability into it?
Yeah, movability. Yeah, a bit more flexibility.
Yeah,
innit?
flexibility,
Yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for.
a
Bit more flexibility when the hook's sitting down. So obviously if you're having a anti-tangle sleeve and it's sort of sat on a raised bit of ground, it's going to kick your rig back and want to pull it back. So I tend to think that if it does that, it'll either nip your hook or it could pull it into some debris on the bottom end. So I tend to just fish it loop to loop style. And then what I'll do is, to ensure I don't get any tangles, I just put a bag on as I'm fishing it. So you can either, I just use this dropping it from a boat, or just casting. I've had no tangles with it if you use a bag. And there, yeah, that's my basic go-to rig, bottom bait.
Can I ask just one thing, mate? Why do you have the putty around the knot up the top?
So
is
that
an anti-tangle sleeve gonna? Does it not interfere with it or anything?
No. So all I do with that is, when you've got a leg clip with the ring on, you loop to loop it, and that acts as your kicker. So that will kick the rig out straight. Obviously, it was with the weight of that hook bait. Hopefully, when you hit the clip, it should straighten out anyway. But when using smaller hook baits, it will tend to kick it forward. Obviously, with the weight at the front of it, it helps kick it a bit further straight.
So you don't put an anti-tangle sleeve on? Just loop it straight.
Just loop it straight on. It tends to, if you have an anti-tangle sleeve and it sort of sits like that.
Yeah.
I feel that sometimes if you've got a really stiff anti-tangle sleeve, when you line or when you're pulling your line back straight, if it's sat on a raised ground, it could pull it back because it's wanting to kick straight all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're using a supple braid, it will bend.
Got you.
So if you've got like one of those really long anti-tangle sleeves that try and pull it over a stone, it's natural things wanting to kick everything straight. So if you've got it sat at 45 degrees, it's going to want to pull it to 90. Where if your hook's sat, you're fishing bottom bait style, it could blunt you up, cost you fish. In my mind anyway, I might be wrong, but I just tend to use it.
Makes sense, mate.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
especially if you're fishing over large bits of gravel like we're fishing close to now. If you get it slightly wrong, it needs to be sat straight, so that'll allow. As well with the ring, you've got 360 degrees, whereas if you're using a line clip, the quick clip, you've only got straight.
Straight.
So with the ring, it allows all that movability as well.
Yeah.
So it's got all this movement to go. That's another thing with the hooking capability of it.
Yeah.
I feel like if a fish is trying to use the weight of the lead to eject it, if you're using an anti-tangle, it'll hit the lead first. So if it's moving gradually and slow, it'll feel it there.
Yeah.
Where this has got all that movement, it can go either way.
So it's actually it's proper in contact with the lead.
So yeah, it's literally boom. It's like fishing a cog lead.
Yeah. Okay.
So when obviously it can feel it at full speed, where our ear, it can feel it there. So you've got that extra movement
before it's actually made contact with the lead.
I feel like I fish my hinges the same.
Yeah.
14-inch boom sections and then loop to loop it.
I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% stealing that.
It just Yeah, I've seen a couple of anglers that use it, and then thinking about it, like if you're fishing on a really hard spot, like
Start back where you were before.
So after you've made your overhand loop knot, you chosen hook bait, which mine is a 22mm hard hook bait, Vitalac from RG Baits. So slide that on and put my hair stop. Where do I start? Coming to the last 4 day today. Had a few occurrences this morning, but I rode far into the shallows right down the bottom end. And just done a couple of snide videos with Rob. So nothing else has really been out. We've been looking on the French lakes around this area, and apparently the pressure's been horrendous, and not many people have caught on other lake owners that Rob's been speaking to. So yeah, just going from there. Hopefully try and pull one out before I go tomorrow. We're leaving about 1 o'clock, and then probably next video will be me jumping onto my winter campaign, which I'm going to start showing you. There's not many fish in that lake. Targeting a £50 common. So I'll just talk you through the process of me doing overnighters and stuff, because it's not far from where I work, so we can be going through that. And obviously showing you the rigs and tactics I want to use using the snide components, and what bait I'm using, RG and part cores, cook myself, so I'll keep you updated with that. But yeah, I'll keep you posted obviously. If I do catch a fish, hopefully get it on video. But other than that, we just had a slight drop back on one of the rods, so I just thought I'd get a camera out and get ready just in case it does go. So, cheers. So at the beginning of the trip, we've been, well I have anyway, been using RG baits, the red squid and the Vitalac, which is normally my go-to back home, or I'll swap the squid out for the crab. The lake I've been fishing on at the minute, back home, squids tend to do really well, so I've just kept with that theme. But unfortunately, no bites have come to that bait, so we're just coming to just a switch. So I've got the RG baits, hot shrimp pellets, and Rob calls it a cooked and freezes fish on the lake. just seasoned hemp oil, and I've also put the RG Baits hot shrimp oil on them, and some Arctic Krill as well, just to give it different oil slicks as it's coming off. I've just switched to this, so hopefully we can pick up any fish at the minute, because at the minute there's only been a 25 pounder and a couple of pound, maybe a stocky just off that. So the lake's not been fishing awesome, but in France at the minute they've had loads of rain and the weather's up and down, so we're just trying to make sure that we optimise sorry, the fish just stopped over there. Optimise the catch as much as possible. I mean, we have been getting shows, I don't know if you can see that, getting fizzes in the deeper areas, but I've had rods there for 2 days now and nothing's come out, so I've just tried on out towards the island. There's a shallower plateau that sort of deepens off into 8 foot. There's also a raised area at 7 foot, so I've got a right hand rod on the 7 foot, which I've just put on a yellow Ronnie rig. It's not really something I tend to use, but I'm using parkour, so I want them to be feeding in a patch, so a low line pop up should work well for that. And then I've just got a normal, my standard blowback rig on the middle rod, fished on a 22mm Vitalite pop up topped with a half a yellow crab, just to give it a different flavour profile, see if it can think of anything. And then also I've got this one on a hinge, just something a bit different. Rob's spoke to me about tactics that people use on here, and to be honest, not many people use quite high pop-up, so I've gone for a 14-inch supple boom section and a 3-inch chod section with a pink Coda pop-up, the candy floss flavour, which I've done really well on back home. I had 250s on them, so it's normally my go-to bait, so I've chucked that one out just as a saving grace. Normally I've put quite a bit of bait around that area, a lot of 20 millers and some pellets. We have been getting a lot of indications on that, but still nothing's come to fruition yet. But hopefully today, with the weather's supposed to be getting slightly warmer, then yeah, hopefully it can send us a bite our way. Rob's just gone for breakfast, so he's just gone back into the kitchen, so you can actually get this as lake exclusive. But luckily this week that Craig from Snide Tackles organised me to come down and meet Rob and do a bit of filming. So yeah, I'm quite excited. Been with Snide now since June. The service is impeccable. It's quite lucky for me because I only live around the corner from Craig, so as and when I need anything I can just pop round and get a service anyway, but normally it's within a couple of days and everything's perfect. Sorted, ready for home now. 4-hour drive, and then a 4-hour drive back on the other side of the tunnel. So probably skip to being on the other Syndicate Lake that I'm on. I might do a couple of nights on another Syndicate Lake I've got called Deepins too. I've not fished there in a long time, so it's probably normally got good winter form. There's a couple of people on there I want to do some socials with anyway, so yeah, I'll see you later.